What is going on, everybody? Welcome to draft season. Today we have a Carolina Panthers mock draft. So, taking a look here with the first overall pick, the Texans took Bryce Young. And if you're the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to assume that thinking about the quarterback position probably makes you a little bit uneasy, considering that you've had guys like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold as the starting quarterbacks the past few years. Now, there are two other quarterbacks that we're going to talk about. PJ Walker, he's shown flashes, but I think at this point in his career, he's not going to elevate the team. He's not going to get much better than how he's already performed. I think he's a bridge quarterback at best. But yeah, definitely not the future of the franchise. And for Matt Corral, this is a guy who's really unproven. We haven't seen him play a real NFL snap yet, and he was taken in the third round, so there's no real loyalty that you have to give him to make him the future franchise quarterback. It's not like you took him in the first round, but it is something to consider. I mean, I'm a huge Matt Corral fan, and he went in the third round for reasons not related to his on-the-field play. It was more of things that are off the field, like his mental health and also some issues that he had back in high school that have followed him all the way up until this point. So I believe that Matt Corral can be a future franchise quarterback, but I know for Carolina Panthers fans, if you're sitting here with the number 2 overall pick, you have the ability to snag a franchise quarterback here because it's not every year you're going to be drafting in the top 5. I don't know if you can pass up on a player like CJ Stroud, and there's a lot of uncertainty with a guy like Matt Corral, and so I think you can be certain that you'll have a franchise quarterback in CJ Stroud, someone who's going to be playing consistently under center for the next 4 to 5 years at the least. So we're going to take CJ Stroud here with the first selection that we have, number 2 overall, and we still have 2 more second round picks to work with. So, oh boy. This is a great scenario to be in, guys. We're sitting here with the number 33 overall pick, and Brian Branch has not been taken off the board yet. Now, if you know anything about the Alabama secondary, is that they typically translate very well into the NFL. If I had to give some examples, Patrick Surtain, Trevon Diggs are 2 excellent corners at the position. You also have guys at the safety position such as Minkah Fitzpatrick, Xavier McKinney, who've been taken more recently and have produced at a very high level in the NFL. So for us to pass up on Brian Branch here would be stupid. This is great value here, and the cornerback position is one that we could definitely use right now because J.C. Horn is playing pretty well. And after that, you just have a bunch of guys who are just question marks. Like Dante Jackson is not a horrible corner, but he's currently on IR as we speak. And C.J. Henderson is just not that great of a corner. So I think Brian Branch would really make a lethal duel between him and J.C. Horn and make this secondary a fearsome one. So I'm really enjoying the way that this draft has started off so far. And if you are too, consider subscribing. So we got the future franchise quarterback, and we got what I would think is a first-round corner here in the second round, so that's just tremendous value in itself. Okay, now I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and get ourselves an edge rusher. So I'm going to just take a look at who's still on the board, but the reason why I want to look after an edge rusher is because we still can get really good value. According to this board, we have the 47, 50, 53rd, 54th ranked player. We're sitting here at 51, so this is definitely a reasonable time to be taking one of these players. We're not reaching for anyone. And you have Brian Burns on one side, but on the opposite edge, you have Yatir Gross-Matos, who really hasn't produced and hasn't really lived up to his second-round status when he was drafted a couple drafts ago. So I really think we should bring in someone else to be more of a presence there at the opposite edge. Give them something to worry about aside from Brian Burns, and make this difficult for opposing offenses because you also have Derek Brown in the middle, who's also been a nightmare for teams this season. So I'm just going to go with the best player on the board. We're going to go with Brian Young here out of Tennessee, and like I said, solidify a defensive line that can be really good if we just get 1 or 2 more players here. I mean, you also have Matt Ioannidis. He's not a slump either, so I think this draft went really well, and I think PFF agrees as well. I'm not really sure how their grading system works just in general. I mean, obviously, it's an A-plus grade for CJ Stroud because you go ahead and get the franchise quarterback, but I don't know how you rank what your 16th overall player on your big board is. We get him here at pick 33, and it's a B. I don't quite understand, but what's great about the draft that we just had is that we had the ability to take the best player available on the board, and simultaneously it filled a need at the same time. So I think that this is an ideal draft scenario here for the Carolina Panthers. I hope you guys enjoyed this mock draft. I did. I mean, we got some pretty damn good players at pretty good value, in my opinion. So hopefully the Carolina Panthers can knock it out of the park. But I think C.J. Stroud would be a huge, step in the right direction for this franchise who desperately needs a franchise quarterback. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is draft season, and I will see you guys all later. Peace.